without meaning to sound like a bandwagon jumper, probably has to be May 22nd this year when we got promoted to the Premier League. Been a Blackpool fan since the age of 7, and 13 3 years, and I never thought that I'd see Blackpool play in the Premiership ever. And the run that we had at the end of the season, and to be a very, very good team in Nottingham Forest just to get to the final, and to play another really good team. I mean, you only have to look after how they're doing this season, Cardiff, and to go behind twice and come back and win, absolutely phenomenal.
I would say Brett Ormerod. He's played for us in all 4 levels. I know he went away to Southampton, he's been around, but he's been a good and loyal servant at the club, I think. I like the lad's attitude. Desperate for him to score in the Premiership, because it'd be a great record, that. I think he just appeals as a general footballer, really. He's got a great attitude. Never say die, hard working, you know, wears his heart on his sleeve.
That's a very, very difficult question. Probably got a lot of stick for this. David Ayres. Growing up as a kid, David Ayres, absolutely fantastic player for us. He was quick, his corners were fantastic, he had a fantastic shot on him. So definitely growing up as a kid. I'd have to put Gary Briggs in there. You wouldn't see Gary Briggs in today's game, he wouldn't last 5 minutes. He had a tasty tackle on him somewhat.
Well, this season it's been pretty electric. I mean, it's packed house, good to see, good and loud crowd. And the last game against Liverpool, absolutely tremendous, the support, just loud, raucous, entertaining, exciting, just brilliant.
Shocked, because probably one of the best halves of football I've ever seen in my life. I'm always one of these more pessimistic Blackpool fans. Kept telling my mate, there's more goals in this. There's definitely more goals in this. We're going to have to defend really well second half. I was half right, we did have to defend very well second half. Cardiff caused us all sorts of problems, but thankfully we managed to hold on for the win.
My first game was a cup game against Portsmouth in 1974, so I've been a regular attendee for sort of 35, 36 years almost, yeah.
My first game was 1st of September 1990, a classic 0-0 draw with Rochdale in the old Division 4. Again, there's been a fair few. Ryan Sugden's 94th minute equaliser at Boundary Park relegating us the same day that Preston got promoted to the Championship. Don't think you can probably get much worse than that.
Liverpool 2-1. I think part of the reason for that is when I grew up, Liverpool were not only the best team in the northwest in England, in the world pretty much. They're not quite the stature that they were then, but it was just phenomenal. 2-0 up at half time and then hanging on for 2-1. You know, that sort of cultural legacy of beating Liverpool was just phenomenal.
I'd say it's a tie between Nottingham Forest in the playoffs, because obviously you're 1 game away from the Premier League, and probably Deepdale. I think it was 2007, Wes Houlihan, shit penalty. Probably a tie between them. If I had to pick one, probably Wes's pen at Deepdale.
Well, there's a few spring to mind. The Mickey Walsh one, obviously, when he won goal of the season, that was a memorable goal. Brett Ormerod's probably at Cardiff, has got a rank up there, the winner there at Cardiff. And I'll tell you one that sticks in my mind. I remember as a really young lad, Mickey Burns against Bologna in the Anglo-Italian Cup. It was live on television, then it went off for the news and it came back on and he scored a cracking goal from the edge of the box.
Phil Clarkson's backheel volley against Northampton, I think it was 97, not 100% sure. and Richard Walker's 94th minute header against Plymouth. I think it was 2000, we got in the playoffs that year, and if it weren't for that goal we wouldn't have got in the playoffs. So yeah, I'd probably say just about Richard Walker's header. It's probably the only header I've seen that's from outside the area just going to the top corner like a bullet. Probably the best header I've ever seen in my life. I'll ask that question myself many a year, mostly under Colin Hendry and Nigel Worthington. Don't know, it's just, it's in the blood, I suppose. I mean, my dad was a Blackpool fan, his dad before him. It's just love the club, love football. When it comes to an international break or a game's called off, or in the summer on a Saturday, I'm just sat there twiddling my thumbs. What do? I mean, it's a Saturday, it's 3 o'clock, it's Blackpool time, it's time to watch football.
One of the strangest moments, and they're normally tied in with away games. One of them was going down with a good friend of mine, about 3 friends of ours, travelling all the way down to Aldershot, and we just listened to tapes of New Order and I think The Clash all the way down. When we got there, because we didn't have mobile phones then, or we didn't listen to the radio because the radio was broken, the game had been called off about 6 hours previously. So we got there and it was underwater, so we walked around the pitch, you know, it was ankle deep in water, then we all went to London for a weekend out.
Our manager resigning, and then not 5 minutes later, Steve McMahon, the press conference called, he resigned. Then there was a bit of a commotion, they all went away, came back 5 minutes later, and nah, I've not resigned. It was strange, but at the same time, for this football club, not strange at all, because Blackpool is a very strange football club where nothing really normal happens.
It was a South Stand Q block up in the corner there. It was quite a lofty perch from where to watch the game, so you got a good vantage point, but everyone used to sort of congregate up there, and all my mates used to go there, so that was it, Q block.
I'd like to think that would be a championship club minimum. I'd like to think that we've either got a bigger ground or we've moved ground. The stadium that holds 16,500 isn't going to sustain Premiership football, so we need a bigger ground really. But I'd like to think that no matter how bad or how good we're doing, that the fans remain, that we're still getting decent crowds, and that we're still playing good football, because at the end of the day it doesn't matter what division you're in, as long as you're playing good football, as long as it's entertaining to watch, that's what it's all about really.